morning, students. Revisiting irrational number. This is the topic we have now to discuss, in which first of all we have to learn the concept of one theorem, and that what is the theorem we will discuss now. Theorem 1. We don't require proof of this, but we need the use of this theorem. So the theorem is, let P be a prime number, and if P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. Means if we take any positive integer A, and if we take any prime number P, let P, by example we can understand, let 2 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number, and if a number A is 4, let A is 4, then A square is 16. Now we will verify this theorem by taking this example. If prime number 2 divides A square, means if 2 divides 16, that is 2 divides 4 square. So 4 is an integer, so prime number 2 divides 4 square, hence, or it implies that 2 divides 4 also. So this is the concept of this theorem. By any prime number, if we can divide by any prime number, if we divide a perfect square, then we can divide by same prime number the square root of it also. Clear? Okay. Now, dear students, we are going to prove one type of number. To prove like root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7 are irrational numbers. This is the one type of questions. Okay, so all the proofs will be similar to one another. Hence, I am taking one example to prove that root 5 is an irrational number. Okay, so now for proof of this, we prove it by contradiction. The contradiction means just opposite what we need to prove. We need to prove here is root 5 is an irrational number. So we will just suppose that if possible, then let root 5 be a rational number. So we will start from here. If possible, let root 5 be a rational number. We have to prove root 5 is an irrational number. We have taken a possible, let root 5 be a rational number. Just reverse of it. This is called contradiction. So if possible, let root 5 be a rational number. Now, as we have considered root 5 is a rational number, then we know root 5 can be written in the form of P by Q. So therefore, we can write root 5 is equal to P by Q, because root 5 you have taken a rational number. So if P by Q, but where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. At the same time, we consider the simplest fraction. So HCF of PQ is equal to 1. If HCF and P and Q is 1, means this is simplest fraction. Okay. Next, from here we simplify by cross multiplication. If P is equal to root 5 into Q. Now do the squaring both sides. So P square equal to root 5 into root 5, 5 Q square. on squaring both sides. Right? Now here you find p square equal to 5 q square. So 5 divides p square. 5 is a factor of p square. So here we can write 5 divides p square. And as we have done earlier, the first theorem, if p is a prime number, p divides a square, then p divides a. So 5 is a prime number and p is an integer. So 5 divides p square, it implies if 5 divides a. 5 divides p. Is it? And if 5 divides p, then we can write that p is some multiple of 5. So we can write p is equal to 5 into c. 5c. C is any integer. Says any positive integer. So if 5 is divides p, means p is the multiple of 5. So 5c times is equal to p. No doubt? I hope you understood. We go ahead squaring both sides again. So we will get p square equal to 25c square. And we have the value of p square here. If we consider this as equation number 1 and this you consider equation number 2. So from equation number 1, if we put value of p square, we get 5q square. So p square will give you 5q square equal to 25c square using equation number 1. It implies 5 we take that side, the q square equal to 5c square. Again we can say that q square is the multiple of 5, so 5 divides q square. So here we can say 5 divides q square, hence it implies if 5 divides q. 5 divides q. Mark equation number 3 and just go through the two, equation number 2 and equation number 3. Equation number 2 says if 5 divides p, equation number 3 states that 5 divides q, means 5 is a factor of q as well as 5 is a factor of p. So 5 is a common factor of p and q. Okay. So from equation number 2 and equation number 3, we conclude that 5 is common factor of p and q. But what we have taken in the beginning, is HCF of p and q is 1. So highest common factor of p and q is 1. But here we have proved just now that 5 is the common factor of p and q. So this is the result which contradicts our assumption. So this results 5 is a common factor of pq contradicts. It contradicts the assumption that PQ is co-prime, that is HCF of PQ is 1. 5 common factor of P and Q, and we assumed earlier that HCF of PQ is 1, so highest common factor is 1, and we got one more number 5 which is greater than 1. So this statement contradicts the statement HCF of PQ 1, that is PQ is a coprime. So why this wrong assumption comes? Why this contradiction comes? So this contradiction arises. This contradiction arises due to our wrong assumption. Wrong assumption. So what we have assumed in the beginning, let root 5 be a rational number. That was our assumption, and that assumption was our wrong assumption. It was stated that the assumption we have taken in the beginning was a wrong assumption. So what was our assumption? Root 5 is a rational number. Hence, our assumption was wrong. If assumption was wrong, then just either number should be a rational number or irrational number. If you have taken root 5 is a rational number, and that is wrong assumption. Hence, conclusion is, hence root 5 is an irrational number. Irrational number. This is proved. I think it's required to repeat once again. Here, once again I repeat, go through the steps clearly and try to understand. I'll try my best to give you the full concept to prove this part, okay? So first, on contrary, we are taking that root 5 be a rational number. If any number can be taken as rational, then that number can be written in the form of p by q. So root 5 is equal to p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. And at the same time, we have considered HCF of PQ is 1. That is, PQ is co-prime. This also we can write. PQ is co-prime or HCF is 1. Okay. Now we go step by step. Root 5 is P by Q. So if we do the cross multiply, to P equal to root 5 into Q, squaring both sides, P square equal to 5Q square. Okay, that's question number 1. Then from this relation we see if P square is a multiple of 5, so 5 divides P square. According to previous theorem, 5 divides P, and if 5 divides P, then P must be in the multiple of 5. So P is equal to 5 into some integers. Okay, now squaring again both sides, the P square equal to 25C square. Now from 1, if you substitute the value of P square is 5Q square. We substitute the value P square equal to 5Q square, then 25C square using 1. Now Q is 5 will go this side, to 5 5 is 25, Q square equal to 5C square. So again we find Q square is the multiple of 5. So 5 is your 5 divides Q square. So 5 divides Q square, and by same property 5 divides Q. So from equation number 2, if 5 divides P, and equation number 3, if 5 divides Q, we conclude from 2 and 3 that if 5 is a common factor of P and Q. 5 is common factor of P and Q means our assumption 5 is common factor of PQ. So it contradicts the assumption that PQ is co-prime, that is HCF of PQ is 1, that we have taken in the beginning. So this contradiction arises why? Due to our wrong assumption. We have taken the wrong assumption, so this wrong result has come. So what was our assumption? Root 5 is a rational number. So that assumption was wrong. Is it? So what is the correct? If number is not rational, then number must be irrational. So root 5 is an irrational number. Got it? I hope you understood it well. If you prove by writing 2 or 3 times this, you will get the proper concept, and accordingly, similarly, with the same process, by replacing 2, 5 by 2, by 3, 5 by 7, you can prove any number, like I root 2 is a rational number, root 3 is a rational number, root 5 is a rational number, root 7 is a rational number, like that. All the numbers can be proved on the same way. Okay? Okay. Thank you.